Beat me to it. Yes, welcome ladies and gentlemen to your Taurus May 2020 reading. I'm Nigel Saint James, for those of you who haven't met me before. That'll do it. And it's great to see the subscribers back again. And I've met a few of you in personal readings that I've been having with you over the last month. It's been fantastic to get to know you. And if you'd like to have a personal reading, just check out the description box below, and that will give you the details. And check out the website, because that shows you what I do. Now, what are we going to do today? I think that, and welcome back to the subscribers. It's always really good to see you. And you know, I send you great energy every week. And we have the best family here, don't we? Subscribers, we have the best family on YouTube here on this channel. Now, let's have a look. We'll see what we have today. Now, I'm going to take a theme card first up, and we'll see what that has to say in the reading. This is often really insightful, so I think it'll be good for you, Taurus. And let's see what it has to say. It's this, and that is, what is that? May as well use these, seeing as, oh, there it is. Compassion. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Let's have a look now at the tarot cards for you. Was that something jumping? I don't think so. Let's see what that is. The Nine of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful. I got this deck from a woman in San Francisco, and she's an independent artist, and she painted the images for this deck, and I really enjoy them. They evoke, for me, here's the Six of Cups. They evoke for me messages that are very insightful, very deep, very penetrating, and can very often get into the shadow side as well. Now, a lot of people are sometimes afraid of their shadow side. Well, of course, there's no need to be afraid of the shadow side. We need to be comfortable with the light and the dark within us. There's the King of Staves. Gee, he looks like a dark character, speaking of the dark and shadow side. But there's nothing to be afraid of at all, as I say. Well, there are two here, so what are they? They are Fortitude and, what is that? The Empress. Excellent. Yeah, nothing to be afraid of at all in the shadow side. Let's have a look to see what three playing cards might say. Now, this is probably the last time I'll do playing cards for a while. I'm just wondering, it just takes up a bit of time at the end, which, although they're extremely interesting, I think, as you will agree, and have said before, it can tend to add about 3 minutes to the end. There's the Four of Diamonds, the Queen of Clubs. It's very interesting. I love those queens. And there's the Eight of Spades. Okay, why don't you come around, sit down next to me, have a good look at these cards, and I'll do the reading for you. All right, let's have a look at this first card, shall we? Let's have a look at the card of compassion. Now, what does compassion mean to you? What does compassion mean to you? Well, compassion is being able to work out the difference between sympathy and empathy. Sympathy is about feeling another person's plight and being caught up in the trauma and emotion of the situation. Sympathy makes it difficult for you to separate yourself from the feelings they are experiencing. Empathy is about understanding what the person's plight is without taking on the feelings associated with the problem. There is some degree of separation with empathy as you witness the person's feelings and situation rather than getting caught up in it. Be clear when you are supporting or judging people as to which is more benefit to the situation, sympathy, empathy, or compassion, because compassion is something which you may not be very familiar with. For some reason, a lot of people believe that compassion is a weakness of character and should not be indulged in. Well, this is wrong. There are certain issues you feel very strongly about, And you feel if you listen to the other side of the argument, this will be seen as a sign of giving in. If you do, in fact, listen, you will find a different perspective to the situation and be surprised it is not unlike what you believe. It is just coming from a different angle. Let your guard down and let people see who you really are. Don't be scared that they won't like you, because the fact is, they will see you as a different person and will soften to you. This is really a great time for you to form new friendships and to begin new relationships, very much so. Now, where shall we go? I think we might have a look at this central card here first. See what this has to say for us. Well, the Lord of Flame and Lightning, the King of the Spirit of Fire. There is a lot of Sagittarius around this card, and a lot of Scorpio. So I think that Sagittarius is going to be important to you at this time, and so is Scorpio. Now, the active qualities of this person, I think, really are one of a person of great activity, someone who's very generous, someone who is, though, I think, quite impetuous, maybe very proud, not in a bad way, but proud in the sense of who they are, someone who acts very swiftly, and sometimes the swift action can be very unpredictable, and someone who can be very fierce in putting forward their point of view. There is, with you, I think, this time, a period where you will have energy and ambition. You'll be quite adventurous, determined. You'll be very charming, I think. And you'll have a personal magnetism which is very hard to resist. Sometimes I get the feeling here of budding entrepreneurship, which is around this. Now, I think what this is also saying to me is that there could be around you at the present some quite startling or sort of revolutionary qualities contained in the events which are around you, but you should remain cool, collected, resolute, and energetic, and be careful of the actions that you take, nothing which is not well thought out. This is also talking about someone who is of a danger of not following through on things. See, esoterically, the king is fire, and he's in the suit of fire, so he's the fiery part of fire, so very energetic, very ambitious, very fast-moving, but it's almost as if he has like one bullet in the chamber of the gun, and it shoots that one bullet, and then it's gone. And the bullet is unable to adapt to the circumstances which are around it. So maintain that ambition, maintain that forward motion, but be aware of what's going on, suss out the situation that is around you, and adapt to the circumstances that are there. I think what we can also say about here is that this is a time for you to be finding your vitality, really, and trusting your gut instinct on things. I'd be inclined to relax somewhat and let your hair down, give yourself a bit of a pep talk, and believe that you can do it. Believe that you can. I also see possibility of travel around here. Yeah. Possibly a change in job. Promotions are quite likely with this energy that's around. Certainly your creative ideas will be brought into action, I think, and this is a time when you will be very much having the courage of your convictions. And for some reason I'm drawn to this card here, the Empress. Quite a lovely looking Empress in this deck. If you judge people, you have no time to love them. Look, there are two mother archetypes in the first few major arcana. The High Priestess, who is cold and remote, the empty void or ocean. And then there is This woman, the Empress, who is warm, nurturing, and overflowing with diversity and abundance. The Empress isn't just the mother to a single child. She is a symbol of the mother of everything, the abundance and fertility of creation, and she carries all things across the void of creation and into the world of manifestation. She takes a child, carrying it first in her body, covering it with her flesh, and brings it across the threshold from spirit to matter. She takes it from the dark forest and out into the bright sun. Now I call her the daughter of the mighty ones. I do very much get the feeling of pregnancy around this, so I don't think it would be surprising if you were to hear of pregnancy at this time, but I think that this is saying to you that this is a time for you to be getting into contact with the beauty in your life. I think it's about exploring your relationship with your mother or with a maternal figure. And it well may be that you become also a parental figure to somebody else. I see people coming to you for advice and you giving good advice as to how they should move forward with the issues that are confronting them. I think it's a time when you'll have a very empathetic and caring personality. And wow, isn't this really what this card was also talking to us about there? I think it's reminding you also that spirituality is not something which is expressed in the head, but really it's something which comes from the heart and what you do, your day-to-day actions. You are spirit encased in flesh. It comes to the fore in this plane by what you do and the actions that you take. So produce good works, produce good actions which benefit other people. I think that this is also a time where you will be, well, perhaps nurturing other people, and it's also a time when I think you really need to think about nurturing yourself. You really do need to think about nurturing yourself, I think. There may well be a strong desire for communion with nature. You'll be a natural parent. You'll be quite service-oriented, I think, and I don't think that anybody's going to be able to characterize you as being either intellectual or emotional. You'll have the characteristics of both of those things. You will, I think, have strong leadership ability. And this is a particularly good card for women. It's a card which is saying that the universe is with you. I would have this thought in mind, that I give and receive wisely. I realize that the capacity to receive is equally as powerful as the capacity to give. I value the healing power of beauty, harmony, and love. In fact, I am filled with power and with love. Highly creative time and ownership of your leadership ability during this period, I think. Very good indeed. Well, let's have a look at this card here. I see her sitting alongside the Empress on that bottom row. What does she have to say to you? Well, she is the daughter of the flaming sword. This is about having a lust for life. It is Leo ruled by the sun with Uranus exalted. And I think that what we can say here is that you have the passion and multi-dimensional creativity coming through to you, a lot of talent, a lot of strength, animalistic energy, and really overcoming old fears. You could well, as I say, have something to do with a Leo person during this period. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I get a lot of Leo around here. I think it's possible that you may well internally be going through the process of deciding what, and it may not be a conventional view, but what really is the right spiritual path for you, and what qualities are needed to pursue that spiritual path. Now, in relation to sexuality and the desires that you have, the fantasies that you have, you are not going to be punished by a God who has any moral issues about your love life or your dreams. Any guilt or self-inflicted punishment are wrong in this area. This could also relate to you having a particular passion for a particular situation. It is engaging with life to the fullest and about being comfortable with your sexuality, accepting your carnal desires for what they are, rejoicing in them, but not letting them throw your life off balance. Now, there could well be with you at the moment a passionate relationship with a great degree of sexual and emotional intensity. And also, this is a time, I think, where you'll be doing something because you love it and without over intellectualizing it. Yeah, I think it's also going to be the case that you'll have the confidence and strength to say what it is that you want to say. And you're also going to be able to listen. This is a time where it's almost like a intellectual muscle over physical power. It's a gentle power, one that comes from confidence and conviction. Have this thought in mind: I enjoy expressing my energy, vitality, and enthusiasm in all I experience. I am a person of character and strength. I have unlimited creative resources to tap and express. And take everything in with more awareness. We often experience emotions such as love, sadness, pain, rage, or fear as obstacles only because we have never learned to use them as potential energy. Yeah, so that was talking a lot about our thoughts surrounding our carnal desires. Well, it would be remiss of me then, in that case, not to go directly to this card, which is really the Lord of Pleasure. The Lord of Pleasure. This is the Sun ruling the second decan of Scorpio, and 3rd to the 12th of November. And the 6, for me, mystically, also has an association with the Sun, numerologically. So we have the Sun in the number 6, and in the astrology of the card, I have the Sun ruling Scorpio. So we have a double dose of the Sun, as the Sun is in the astrology and it's also in the numerology. Now, the double Sun reveals what Scorpio wants to hide. This, look, I'll be frank, it's about lust, enjoyment, pleasure in sexual relationships, and a rich exchange of sexual and heart energy. Very much also about emotional renewal, I think. Pleasure, indulgence, sexual pleasure, excitement, commitment to relationships. Now, it's also possible for family support to be here, so getting support from family members, I think. And you may also have the desire, and may in fact get in contact with ancestors. Now, when I talk about pleasure in this card, the pleasure is a kind of pleasure which is completely harmonized. The zodiacal sign governing the card being Scorpio, well, pleasure is here rooted in its most convenient soil. This is a preeminently fertile card, and for me, really is one of the best cards in the pack to get. Now, unashamedly, the emphasis on the card is on sexuality. But sometimes it can also mean pleasure which is now being experienced after much hardship. I'm just looking at this sea here, and these people are at the front, and this sea can be something of a hardship that's been around there. I think it's possible that you will also have been undergoing a period of healing, and I'm getting this from these brass cups. Look to me to have a the brass is a metal that I associate with the planet of Venus, and Venus, among other things, is about healing and renewal. So I get the feeling here that you may well have been undergoing a period of healing and transformation. And the emphasis is on relationship, or the desire to have a relationship that's going to improve both of the individuals, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Enjoy your own emotional wealth and share it with someone. And I am now open to share the joys of love on all levels. And that takes us then to this really, really good card, the Nine of Cups. Now this Nine of Cups is for me the Lord of material happiness, the number 9. The number 9 for me mystically is also associated with the moon, which really just strengthens the idea of water, because cups, of course, is in the suit of water, and it governs the tides. But of the astrology of the card, it's also got water in it. It's Jupiter ruling the second decan of Pisces, the 1st to the 9th of March. Now, in ordinary astrology, Jupiter also rules Pisces, so there's a very strong complementary energy to Jupiter ruling Pisces here. Jupiter's philosophical approach aligns well with Pisces spirituality, and Jupiter brings you good luck and happiness. Jupiter's softer concerns, such as compassion, and here again it's the softer concern of Jupiter, compassion and the spiritual life, well, they're beautifully expressed through sensitive Pisces. There is an enormous capacity to love, although, as is so often with this gift, this is often hard won through lots of difficult times in the past. This is very much about bliss and overflowing love, deep joy and blessings being bestowed upon you. Blessings being bestowed upon you by the divinity. So take it, breathe and feel. And if you are alone, enjoy your solitude. If you are together with others, enjoy their presence. If you have a job to do, do it with happy devotion. And have this thought in mind: happiness is my natural condition. This card represents fulfillment, that things can't really get any better in a way than what they are. So it's going to be very fulfilling for you. Your life, emotionally, is going to be fulfilling. And the other thing I'll say about this is that this is, where I see it placed up here, this is really saying, what is the wish that is your heart's desire? This is the wish card in this place in the spread, and will often confer your wish to come upon you and make it true. Make it come true. Let me have a look at this. Now, I'll just make this comment up front that this might be the last time I use these playing cards for at least 2 or 3 months, because the decks that I'm going to use next, that I have in mind to use, I've got to find them, they have a lot of esoteric meaning in them, which I'll point out, which might take up more time. Now here we have a 4 of diamonds. Well, the 4 of diamonds is really talking about foundation and stability, and is really a card of patience. It represents financial responsibility, which is based on values, on your values. And it's saying that if a good strategy is in place, then over time, prosperity and the foundations for building up financial security are going to be made. Now, there is an outside chance here that there is some unearned income coming your way. It may be by one, or could be a gift even, which is coming your way. It does say, however, though, to avoid spending on luxury at this time. Now, it generally speaks of a financial upswing, and it can also mean, in relation to love, that somebody is in love with you. Then we have the Queen of Clubs. Well, the Queen of Clubs is really about charisma. So I think that you'll have a lot of charisma during this period. Generally, it represents a woman with authority and power, someone who's sociable, outgoing, friendly, charming, graceful, really kind of got it all going. Now, it can be a wife or a girlfriend or a sister or a close personal friend, and this is someone who I think is capable of giving good advice to you. So maybe a person that you know, or a partner. Yes, but giving good advice, that female. Now with the Ace of Spades here, this is really the card of work, and it is one that represents health and work matters as they may well be put together. So it's a suggestion really that you keep in balance work and your health, or problems can come by. Now, there may be some minor misfortunes, obstacles, or people letting you down, or some plans going astray. There could well be cancellations. There could well be disappointments. But these are minor, and they're going to be overcome, and you will be going on with compassion, and who knows, even with the fulfillment of your wishes. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, there we go, May 2020, and I really enjoyed doing that reading for you, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Do you know, you were fantastic during that reading, as you always are, and the only thing that's left for me to say really is this, and that is that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month, and until then, bye for now.